Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina, and for today I'm just doing a haul of things that I bought from the comic book shop. There's a local comic book shop nearby. It's like 20-ish minutes away from where I reside, and I went by today just to see what they have. Okay, let's be real, I knew I was going to buy something. I just didn't know how much I was going to buy. And I got just a little bit, like just just a little bit. And most of these are actually number ones in the series, which is at this point feels kind of rare to find, but there's so many series going on at the same time. But I'm glad I actually found some that are like number ones, so I could actually like start from the beginning. I don't particularly mind starting in the middle of a series, but it's always nice to start straight from the beginning and not have to go backwards and forwards at the same time. Anyways, so let's go over what I got. The first thing I picked up was Black Cat. Doesn't that look fire? This is one of those variant covers. It's not like this is the only option that you could get. This was the only option that was in the store today, but I probably would have picked this one anyways. So this one is about Black Cat, who is known as a villain, as a thief, similar to Catwoman, but Marvel version. They're different. They're different. Let me just, before y'all get at me, they are different. But for those that like both, you need to think of it's like the Catwoman. They're thieves, and she decides that she wants to be a hero after an incident with Spider-Man, I believe. But yeah, so that's why this design looks like this. The cover looks like this, I mean, and basically kind of like what's going on in there. So let me show you some of the art in the inside. It looks pretty cool. I think the artist, who is this? Gleb Melnikov, but the writer is G. Willow Wilson. I know that Wilson has been a writer of a lot of comics lately, and they've been pretty good, so I definitely want to follow Wilson a lot. Anyway, so that was the first thing that I actually picked up. I was like, oh my gosh, I want this. I actually don't know that much about Black Cat. Yeah. Second there, I was like, wait, is that actually she's called? But yeah, I don't know that much about Black Cat, her lore and backstory, but I figured this is like a good time to at least get to know a little bit about this character, even though she's a villain turned hero, at least in this series, but we shall see. But yeah, this was issue 1, so I'm starting straight from the beginning with that. And then the second thing, I think the second thing that I got, giant size Age of Apocalypse. Now on this cover you would think this deals with Rogue, but I mean Rogue is involved, but it actually involves Kamala Khan, so Miss Marvel. She gets sent to, I forgot what it's called, but she gets sent to the Age of Apocalypse, like that. Duh. She gets sent to the Age of Apocalypse, and she has to rely on the X-Men to help her fight the Legion. Yeah, the Legion is like an almost all-powerful hive mind, and they want to exterminate the X-Men. Not that unusual, right? But Kamala Khan, she's not necessarily part of the X-Men, though she is a mutant. She's part of like the newer generation of superheroes, so she's pretty cool. But I say newer because it's been years. It's been years since this character has been announced, but yeah. So here's like some of the art. Let me find a better page. Like, that's her. In case you never know of like Miss Marvel. That's who she is. There's Rogue, super awesome X-Men character. Granted, she's not my favorite. I think years ago, when I first started watching the X-Men, Rogue was my favorite. But now it's definitely, I want to say definitely. I can't say definitely. It's either Phoenix or Storm. I like both of them a lot. And they're both like super powerful. And I think we know that Phoenix is really powerful, but I think sometimes people forget about Storm a little bit. Because of Phoenix. If Phoenix was taken out of the equation, then I think Storm would be like, oh my gosh, you know. Maybe you don't know what I'm saying, but if you do, you get it, right? Anyways, so that's this one. And then I picked up Marvel Rivals, King in Black. I think this is kind of with the video game Marvel Rivals. I have not actually played it because I think the concept of it was stressing me out a little too much, so I haven't played it. But I heard good things about it. Anyways, Marvel Rivals, King in Black. It follows Blade. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Blade. And Phoenix, actually. Granted, Phoenix is not on this cover. Yeah, she's not on this cover, but look how super cool this cover is, though. But yeah, so I was interested in that. I think this has something to do with Squirrel Girl, too. But let me show you some of the inside art, because the outside does not necessarily match the cover, just so people that don't know about comics, that's something. Don't think I actually picked like a really good one. So yeah, there's Blade. I don't think, oh no, there's Phoenix. Yeah, so there's Phoenix, also known as Jean, but well, Jean, also known as Phoenix, but yeah, that's her. So yeah, this is also issue 1. I'm really excited about that. Did I say volumes before? I don't remember. If I said volume 1, I mean issue 1. But yeah, so a lot of issues 1s that I picked up. This is also issue 1, by the way. And then I picked up Marvel Rivals Ignite. This is when the characters get taken to Japan. And we just kind of follow that. So these deal with the, I think the main one is by the artist and writer Peach Momoko. But there's various other ones. The person that did this cover is Yuji Kaku. Like, that's fire. In my opinion. Anyways, it's fire. So, let me show you some of the inside art. Here's a really cool page. Yeah. And when I was checking out, because if you see, the coloring is actually different than the typical comic, and I think that has to do with it being set in Japan. So they're like Japanese comics or manga typically don't have that much color, if they have color at all. So I think that's probably part of why, like, some of the pages might have like a little bit of green or red, but for the most part it's grayscale, and I think that's cool. I really think that's cool. So I got that. Now, as I mentioned about the color, when I was checking out, they have it in full color version. And I decided to get it. This is really exciting. I really, yeah, it was so cool just to see it. And I just couldn't resist getting both of them. Like, you're gonna be in full color options and then tell me not to get it? I don't think so. Like, I want to see both options, like both versions, not options. I want to see both versions. Also, I want this. When it comes out in February, I will get it. I need to put this on my pull list, but like, she looks amazing. Anyways, I'm not done yet. I also got Darkstalkers versus Street Fighter, or like X Street Fighters, Dark Love. Now this is Lords of the Makai. So it says issue 1, right? See, issue 1. But if you look down here, it says part 2. Like, I ended up asking the comic book shop person that was working there that day, because he was telling me how, oh yeah, these are like, he didn't say they were standalone. No, he did. He said they're like standalones. And I was like, but then why does it say part 2? And he's like, oh, but it says issue 1. I'm like, it sure does. So it turns out there is a part 1. And I might need to find it to figure out what it's about. Because if there's only 2 parts, I kind of want to read part 1 before I read this one. Like, in this case, it does feel a little odd to go backwards. But clearly I bought it anyways. But just in case, like, I might still read it. But yeah, this is supposed to just be issue 1. There's another variant cover there. This one. That one was there. But I didn't really, like, vibe with it. Like, the art style was really cool. But I like this one a little better, so I decided to get this one. This cover is by Brett Bean. Let me show you some of the artwork inside. Wait, it looks pretty cool. Look at this side. So, ooh, this is a good spread. Yeah. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. So I'm looking forward to reading this. But it's gonna be like one of the last things that I read, so what can you say? So those are all the comics that I got. I did get one manga. It's called Street Poolside by Shuzo Oshimi. Now this is not one of his latest works. I think, when is it? First published in Japan in 2011, and by that they mean like in this form of a volume. I think it was serialized. Serialized? It was in a series. Like weekly chapters. Yeah, and that was in 2004. Okay. It's supposed to be about like this, they're middle schoolers. There's this boy, he's on the back, that is hairless, but then there's a swimmer who has a lot of body hair and she feels ashamed of it, and it's supposed to be like embracing your natural body and falling in love with that. I'm wondering if there will be a love story in here, but we'll see, because Shuzo Oshimi likes to add like some extra elements to it that makes you question life, life in society. Like, I can't even, well, I can show this page, this one, just to get an idea of how he draws. But I'm not sure. There might be a love story though. And then this is also the mangaka that does Blood on the Tracks, for anyone that wants to know. Or I think he did Flowers of Evil too. don't hold me to that. If he did, I'll put a message on here that he did, but if not, then I'll say that too. But I think he did Flowers Are Evil too, and those are like really good series. So we're gonna see. Like, I actually really enjoy Shuzo Oshimi's works, so I'm going to check this one out. But this was the only manga that I actually bought. So out of that, I bought all of these and then a manga. So I think it was a very successful trip. I might go next week. I probably would go next week, I'm gonna be honest with myself, but I'm gonna try to keep my budget even lower than what I did today. So we shall see how that goes. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.